Brutek's setup's going to be a slow one, as Sapec, he's going to have to run straight to the crossfire of Mono and byali if he wants to even consider getting up from connector. But the flank of phzy, this is the make or break point for Izako Boars. We don't see these kills quickly, then we may see a very well-held site. But Sapec, good for the first. He's trying to pre-fire byali, but the kill's there anyway. The Glocks chime in, and on the repartee, they don't stand a chance. It's all on phzy in the 1v4. I mean, it's a nice shot for the first. Definitely helps. He knows there's a second there. As he peeks in, byali falls. 1 versus 2 now, and with a generalized idea of where the last 2 members are, he can pick up that kit, he can pick up that smoke, because he's strong from both angles. He's caught out from behind. Izako Boars, they open up with a pistol. I quite like the change of tempo from Young Ninjas here. How they just have completely ditched this position of Izako Boars. Completely ditched the idea of just playing retake. They've upped the tempo. They've got the first kill. Actually, he hasn't deployed it at all. This is a bit of a blunder on his part. Eventually, he goes down onto balcony. And with everyone surviving from the Izako Boars, this take may actually be very well recovered, with byali getting that 2k, punishing Young Ninjas for a very slow rotation there.
It seems bizarre because Nilo pushed all the way through as well. Like, I know that phzy was watching the short cross from CT spawn, but it just seemed mad that Nilo's pushed all the way through the T spawn, but yet there's still a player on A. There's still a player in window. And that's not going to see much of a reinvestment here from the CTs either. And that's if he stays alive. TOAO's on hot pursuit. He doesn't peek wide enough. Nilo will
kind of stumble onto this series rather than a sprint, and in this case, it's a fast hit onto B, and phzy just caught out instantly. While his nade does trade, ZTR has to continue going huge, and well, huge he goes. 2 quick kills means he can hide back sight, and as he switches to that USP, he knows that he can continue this aggression. Seeing STOMP with that up is just going to embolden him to keep fighting, and as he just buys time, nilo eventually he falls in the trade, but look at the damage done to both of these remaining members. Rolf, good for the first, all onto Hyper now in a 1v2. Peeks out, sees him coming, but ZTR there to finish the job. This is more a reflex clear and clearing out of muscle memory rather than out of the knowledge that Sapec is there. But it merits fruits anyway. Sapec falls, goes into this 4-on-5, and for the members of Young Ninjas, they get ready for another defense of the B site. It's once again all onto ZTR alone. STOMP finishes the job with beautiful pre-aim, leaving the rest of the Young Ninjas just having to save.
Yeah, it's an easy save call as well. Miles away from the action, deep on the A site. You just say, no, we don't want it.
Young Ninjas' advantage, that being that Izako Boars don't have much money at all. In fact, I'm surprised at how little money they have.
Wonders for them. Gives them enough cash that if they lose this, they can fall back on it. And the way that they're playing it indicates to me that they might not falter here, because a beautiful opening. Damage dealt to the second man. A good flash actually allows them to find one. But in the meantime, TR playing really deep. But that just means that STOMP can get on the angle as the C4's tapped down. I think this is just going to be another save call here for Young.
So invested in playing either aggression on A and or retake on A, that's where they kind of focus their changes rather than the B site, which is where 90% of these rounds have gone.
Yeah, bonus, so definitely worth checking out. Round number 9, minute 30 on this clock, and TOAO, he's just found a free kill onto
the control in mid. Sapec, he sees the player at underpass, he knows that they're in top mid as well, he doesn't even want to risk giving that position away.
Keep an eye on it. They start to regroup and head up connector. It really does come down to timing here for Sapec, but it's Nilo to find the opening regardless. Good smoke goes down, gives him some leg room, gives him an opportunity to get away, but byali's there instead. And oh my goodness, yeah, look at that clock. 15 seconds left, the bomb's dropped, and there's no further chance here for Izako Boars, surely. The bomb's out in the open, and that's it. Round over, they've left it too late.
Izako Boars maybe kind of playing themselves there, as they had mid control for a very long time, but they just didn't want
Izako Boars investment. And it's the battle of the scoped automatic rifles here in Palace as Hyper's up close. Nilo's there with him. Good flash from phzy.
The fact that across the short is not so much likely, but even probable at this case. And there it is. Kill onto STOMP. It gives a 2-man advantage. Now the hit to B is almost suicidal for Izako Boars, especially into an established 2-man stack. Make that 3-man, actually, with phzy in the kitchen.
And as TOAO falls this round, looking almost impossible, Mono's going to fly out and try his luck whilst he finds the first in mid-air. The second's a little ambitious. byali's able to trade it, but now in the 3-on-1. What on earth can he do here? byali already legged down by that AWP. 14 points of health to his name. The pistol tries to take the duel with him, and byali comes out on top.
Ooh.
And he's still dealing damage. How on earth has he got away with this? Tapping down this bomb. He will be charged down, though, because by the nature of the fact that there was only so... Izako Boars maybe do have an opening on this site. The issue is they're in a similar boat. And as we see the aggression in connector, Mono, he will find it. Actually doubles down with a second as well.
phzy, though, he chimes in with kills of his own. 2k for either side, and now Monos comes out connector. Sees phzy, can't finish the job, though. Knows there's a player on triple. It's a very clean kill, though. It's the 2-on-2, and phzy, he's left guessing. However, there's the peek from Mono. There's the kill. On for the ace now for Mono. And while ZCR finishes the job, he alerts Stomp as to where he's positioned. And for Stomp, he's only got a couple of seconds left. Once again, Izako Boars, they've pretty much timed themselves out here. The plant will be achieved by Stomp. ZTR making a bit of noise as he goes for it. Shooting from CT means Stomp is acutely aware where the attack's going to come from. Can he stop it? Yes, he can. ZTR taken out in midair. And for yeah, still not a pretty spot. And as Izako Boars now once again go for aggression. That molly down. Sapec good for the first. Sapec doubles down at that. And now ZTR might be able to pose a bit of a defense. But even then, the spray transfer is perfect. But here's the thing, Josh. I worry the damage has already been done at this stage. Hyper ready in the construct. He's going to glaive it a little bit onto Ruffle, but the timing doesn't help him. Rolf shuts him down. And Ninja
window. This could be a dangerous game. Tao's on the angle with the deagle. Oh, actually is accompanied with a flash. That's brilliant.
really strong opening for Young Ninjas now, and it's looking a bit scary. Izako Boars, the players in con have got Hyper for the first. byali peeking out, finishes off Rolf. With byali picking up that AK as well, suddenly Izako Boars bearing the teeth in this round. Bearing in mind for the penultimate, they have just gone for an eco, but this eco is getting the work.
Doesn't get the kill, though. Izako Boars, this would be such a ridiculous round for them to win if they take it, and byali actually finds that frag. byali. You know, quick. I said, if he steps up today like he did.
We see a 5-on-5 retake now, circumstance we don't often see, actually. And as the aggression goes through from Nilo, he tries to cancel the plant. Hyper's ready for it. Quick kill from the coach of Izako Boars, maybe soon-to-be player, as Young Ninjas left guessing once again, having to find an avenue of attack without foregoing even more players. And, well, Rolf may have done that with the opening onto byali, but the damage is continuing to accumulate. And as Hyper, all it takes is for him to drop down and see the members coming. Sapec the next to fall. Mono's down as well. Hyper chimes in for a second. And for phzy, alone in a 1 versus 4, it's looking awful for him. Peeks into connector. Linked down very low, actually, as he does so. Tagged up, finished off by Stomp. For Izako Boars, that becomes a, well, there goes that man advantage with Nilo instantly trading. Here comes the hit onto B, and oh, Nilo, that's quick. Hyper full, switches to the USP, and he may even continue this aggression. Instead, he reels it in at the last moment, choosing not to peek into door, and instead allowing the players to go back sight. With TOAO in apps, he's seen, peeks to the other side of it, knowing phzy's going to be engaging with him, but phzy just readjusts and shuts down byali. Nilo, an incredible round from him now, as phzy hopes for the timing onto TOAO. He does, there's the kill, and for Young Ninja. And for Izako Boars, it's a fairly heavy stack now, fairly consistent stack at that, as they are ready for this hold. And Nilo's for the first. Nilo doubles down in ramp, meaning Stomp can't hold connector. On Mono, he chimes in. It's chiming into what avail. Stomp for yet one more. 2-on-2 now. And as Stomp gets another, it's all on Sapec, but Stomp single hand. Back under control though. But Izako Boars, early control once again to top mid, and this is
how much damage they've taken compared to how much they've dealt. But if Rolf can find this one, it'll be massive. And there we go. TOAO maybe getting a little bit over aggressive there. When you lose that first man advantage, it's very tempting to try and get hyper aggressive, try and take that man back, and in turn it actually costs them even more. Mono rotates around to CT, not in a position where he can deny that plant at all.
Does need that up in the next round. Luckily, Young Ninjas, they don't risk losing weapons in the process. At 14-6, I can't help but think that for Young Ninjas this season.
But yeah, bringing back a few rounds and saying, okay, these guys aren't just better than us. Like, we can compete with this. We'll give them confidence.
If the double setup doesn't work. For Izako Boars, it's once again, a brief setup around the map, but Rolf from the flank of Palace shuts down Stomp, giving the equalizer, and more importantly, giving the momentum required for Young Ninjas to make their way out to A. Now, Molly into underbalk means that they're not going quiet about this, and with the position held by TOAO, that's a nice opening. Sees the player in Palace, though, and just wallbangs to death. Hyper, well, it's a nice trade onto Sapec, reverse default, the plant of choice, and with it being held, it's now very doable for Young Ninjas, but they need to find a way to hold off the Izako Boars. With utility in their hands, they are just a hop, skip, and a jump away from this aggression. And for Hyper onto ZZR, Rolf, sorry, the second he shows himself in Palace, he'll be finished off. That he is. For Izako Boars, there's that 15 mark. 50-6 of the Young Ninjas. While they can invest next round, they're fighting for their lives.
So from a do-or-die situation, might work, might give them a chance to put some more rounds on the board, or it might fall apart. And TOAO, that's a great opening, but it's traded.
ZZR has been delivering, so means the plant onto triple once again will be their plant of choice. However, implying on triple, they affirm there's someone in connected for Stomp. He's able to shut it down. Rolf in Palace trades, though, but trades to equalize, not trades for an advantage. With phzy spotted in ramp, Hyper falls anyway, leaving it all onto Mono in the 1 versus 2. Peeks into Palace, knows they're coming, tags down phzy where he can, and with a smoke and flash, he has a way to open it up, but
right now, otherwise I'm sure he would have dropped that over to somebody else. As the flash comes in, I like that. Really nice bit of coordinated aggression, but Nilo bounces it right back.
I don't even think he was aiming at byali there, and he just killed him anyway. With the player pushing into Palace, Stomp's only good for 1 before Nilo trades, and for Nilo, perfect round for him there. Mono, with just a measly little deagle, is going to try and make up for this differential. I mean, he can get to stairs, so it gives him some form of advantage, but with a flanking member coming as well, he'll be quickly killed by ZTR. That he is, Young Ninjas, that's Young Ninjas. Early mid controls, they flash their way into connector. Sapec trying to garner a bit of control early on. byali, the other side of the smoke, tries to spam him down. He kind of tickles him, but he hasn't killed him. Because of that, Sapec just dances through, takes down TOAO, and now fully blinded, byali is in a lot of trouble. He's got to try and find a way to go to the other side of the smoke, and as he does so, he's sworn by 3 members. Quick kills, ZTR chimes in. Mono and Hyper in the 2-on-5 now have to try and make up for this differential. And as Hyper, he might be considered saving here, but there's only one place he can be here.
And they're not actually peeking him, which is what I like. Like, they know he has to be CT as well.
Comeback always ends on an eco. Like, that is just, for some reason, an eco is what takes to win it. So, Izako Boars, maybe the pathway's been set, and well, for Stomp, there's an opening there. The Palace player falls, and with a double setup in the ramp, Nilo's in a lot of trouble. There's byali to chime in. byali can't quite double down with Sapec falling, but the deagle, it's not quite enough from Mono. TOAO's P250 certainly is, though. 2-on-3, and they try and brute force their way onto this site. Sapec, only 13 HP in the process, is in a lot of trouble if he's not careful here. And while he doesn't hard clear triple, Stomp in the base setup now is just going to peek in. He'll try and cancel the plant, and while it's messy, he does. All lots of...
Yeah, exactly. I think that's kind of the point. They had the choice between this and Inferno, and they chose Inferno, which indicates to me that maybe they've been doing a bit of prep here on Overpass. Maybe they just feel more confident with it. We'll have to wait and see. Nice 1-for-1 trade, though, and Stomp, unreal.
Well, that's the way to start a pistol round.
Oh, he's punting it on the truck. No way he survives here. That's a real shame. If he'd have planted default to this one. She's going to be the AUG here in Toilets to take the jewels, and phzy takes him out. That's Stomp gone. Premium rifle. That
initial kill, and the Young Ninjas. It's the retrieved AUG that's now being wielded. phzy, kill onto byali, gives them the really vigor to hit this A site, and in the process, Hyper, he just aggresses on long. Shuts down Sapec, it's an opening, but with the retrieved FAMAS, it goes from bad to worse, especially with Rolf's kill onto Mono. The FAMAS, there you go, there's its wieldment, and it leaves it all onto TOAO. Finished off by the FAMAS, and...
That's why he's got so much money behind him, Kramer.
So, first point of contact, sees him coming, but Sapec, there to shut him down. No. Ready to swing into Monster. Again, hasn't seen anyone at all. There's phzy for the first. Leads with a follow-up, and phzy, that's clean for the second. Izako Boars, a save has to be the call here, surely. Hyper, he just takes phzy with him.
The Young Ninjas, and this one's kind of gone horribly wrong for the Izako Boars. I think they were really having high save. Their teammates won't be able to buy around them either. That loss bonus, it is starting to accumulate, so they will have $2,900. maybe a chance for... If you're stacking onto B, you're getting aggressive in B short. You can't also be getting aggressive in toilets. And Hype Up with a great angle tries to line him up. The opportunity is not there, but he still finds that first.
Well, Stomp to get that first kill with that AWP, and Young Ninjas now with a man down. Realizing that these AWP's going to be a true pivot point for Izako Boars. There's a swing. Stomp! Whoa. Oh, that's quick.
Oh, this contact might not work because ropz, they're playing anti-flash. It's absolutely perfect. ZTR's flash is good. It finds everybody else, but he's still good for one before he drops. Stomp up close. Has to try and hit the no-scope with that AWP. Can't connect with it. And, I mean, there's still a man advantage here for the Izako Boars, but this has been a very costly round. Far more costly than I think they were expecting. byali hitting the big headshot. Spots out the second. Sprays down ZTR. And Izako Sapec takes short control. He'll realize it's completely empty. Hyper and Stomp, though, about to take contact. Hyper will find that.
Ready to flank anyway. And as nilo needs to charge, joined by ZTR. The AWP misses the first shot, though, but that rifle, byali, instantly killed, means that for Young Ninjas, that's a beautiful take. Hyper falls as well now. And for Mono and TOAO, where their teammates gone?
They've absolutely crumbled. I love the support that ZTR provides there as well. As nilo flies in towards Optimus, there's actually a man to his close right, and ZTR just swings wide, finds that kill before nilo's taken out, and then nilo follows up with the second. Really clean stuff. Mono gets a nice headshot there. Oh, Sapec hasn't spotted the man behind him. Oh, no. Oh, we're not seeing it from TOAO's POV. There we go. Takes him out. Upgrades one-sided as that. I think they were 5.5 to 1.11 or something like that. I think they're actually 5.5 to 1.15, in fact. But now looking at it 6 to 2, they've got even worse. It does seem pretty crazy. Looks like we might see a third round on the board here for the Izako Boars. That's if they reel it in a bit. They found a two-man advantage. Now they're getting greedy. They're over-aggressing. TOAO's swing into playground there was quite unnecessary. And
well, so swing's deployed up long. Doesn't be able to stop them. In this case, byali instantly there for the first. Trade, not quite there to follow up. Instead, as nilo chimes in.
That Young Ninjas, it looks like they've snatched away another round that just shouldn't have been theirs, given how it started.
But nonetheless, he commits to it. That AWP positioned in monster. It's Hyper to
no.
That's so crushing. Now the flank from nilo. Everything that could... I can only imagine what Izako Boars are in for here.
Oh, big headshot there from...
Ridiculously one-sided halves. And a 13-2, the fact that we could conceive that as being probable is insane, considering how close Mirage was. But Young Ninjas, once again, they hit the safe site, they take it. Izako Boars have to consider saving, once again. A flank of ZTR, they look to make sure it doesn't happen, and well, it doesn't. So, Izako Boars, with only 2 rifles to wield in the next one, mean that Young Ninjas are just going to, if they don't hunt now, then they're going to be able to next. And Young Ninjas, they have the money to be able to do so.
I mean, byali staying alive there's great. He'll swap out to an AK, but as you always say, KRIMZ, it's just silver linings. What does that really mean at this stage? They carry across a couple of weapons. Oh, man, I got a Discord notification. I was hoping it was approval for a hot tub stream, but it's not.
No, I was very, very happy. That would have been great, but no, we're still waiting. Still waiting for our confirmation on a hot tub stream. Of course, for the members of Young Ninjas, it's just another...
Young Ninjas are going for some kind of funky hybrid way to take the man advantage, and they just win that opening duel and consistently take it. Whether it be through short control, whether it be through connector, whether it be through a man getting aggressive over towards playground and catching out any kind of long player. It's just really strong, and as soon as they've got that advantage, they execute onto a site with success. Nice kill there from byali. Does bring it back into a 2-on-2, but as phzy finds him, ZTR's on the flank to take out Hyper.
Or Izako Boars is where things get really, really scary.
Well, double AWP set up, but instantly brought down to the single sniper once again as Stomp gets eliminated. TOAO slips in and grabs it. Good flashbang allows him back, but as he goes for the repeat, ZTR's just ready for him. Spots the elbow going back into those long tunnels and then knows that the repeat's coming. And he's there, crosshair ready. And instantly, off the bat, 3 kills found. This round, it's over already, KRIMZ. This was a full investment. This was a double AWP setup, and ZTR in this site. Mono charging in with the Glock, spots out one. Nilo's there for the first headshot though. Hyper following up onto phzy, and as Rolf comes in as well, this man advantage still maintained here for the young ninjas. That C4 will go down. It adds minor complications to this one. And as Mono's up close with the Glock, he's certainly got an advantage in these duels, but Sapec doubling down, one of which through the smoke leaves it all down to the man in bank. It's Mono, the Glock in hand, taking the long range fight. It's so messy, but eventually he finds the head. And for Sapec, who's tapped the bomb, he knows that Mono's going to be charging towards him, but Mono...
Even though they'll be able to chime together a couple of rounds, it's still not a pretty position for them, is it?
No. There's nothing pretty about this at all. And oh, just to add insult to injury, nilo with a big headshot there onto Hyper. There's that opening, and it looks like young ninjas might just be able to bounce right back. As soon as they've got the guns in hand, they stomp back down with that force that we saw before. A complete some control. They're kind of over towards party and things like that. That was kind of gifted to them. It wasn't really contested. As they start to aggress, though, a dink taken, but a lightning fast response. byali on 1 HP, but it is traded.
Mono, he's able to get the next stand in the matter. So it looks a bit better for the members of Izako Boars, especially with TOAO holding the flank of Rolf.
I suppose that the whole money situation means that saving actually makes way more sense. I'm looking at this from the perspective of they've got such, and they will allow young ninjas to carry across those weapons and in turn have a full investment in the next.
They're just starting on off, and well, with these weapons, it means that.
Oh.
And as this usual goes flying, byali, he leaves this charge, center sight, dances around this position, and with Hyper chiming in with a kill onto nilo. There's the follow-up on long, though, and Izako Boars may have got it back under their reins. As young ninjas, they consider a retake. If they can't find a kill quickly, it may have to be another save, especially with byali hitting shots like that.
Next, they've kind of lost track of it a little bit, but they certainly won't have a lot if Hyper can take down phzy here. On the hunt, looking the wrong way. That's unfortunate. He was the only man that was close to being able to do any damage there.
Close. Either way, though. There's that peak. Stomp. Opening for Izako Boars once again now as phzy falls.
Big opening kill. phzy trying to get that man advantage, and he's so desperate for it that it costs him his life. Mono charging right in, and look at that. He's actually gone and retrieved the second AWP, and he's just thrown it away. Doesn't want young ninjas to...
Impressive here, but the reality is, 2 men up. They don't want to forego this man advantage. Instead, they want to keep Rolf at bay. And while it's so messy, he's punished instantly. Young ninjas, I actually think they are running out of steam pretty significantly now, Josh.
They are a little bit, yeah. This is looking weak. I think byali, whenever he gets onto his T side, that's where he's just unleashed. We've seen that in the last couple of rounds. We certainly saw that over on Mirage. Realistically, I think there's way too big a gap for young ninjas to throw this one away. But there's still hope here. There's still hope for Izako Boars. And as I always say, even if they don't win this, putting those rounds back on the board will make them just feel better about going into nuke.
Exactly.
If they ended up just getting stomped here, we ended up decent margin right now, but they need to make sure that they don't throw it away. The flashes start to rain over towards this B site, and as this execution comes through, Hyper with the entry once again, but Sapec recovers it beautifully.
byali, that trade, though, puts it into a 3-on-3, and Sapec, those endeavors, they were equalizers, not advantages. That bomb goes down nonetheless, and with the rotation of young ninjas, they have a angle to work with. ZTR, he's slow on the flank, and that may get into the heads of Izako Boars, but looks like it'll be held anyway by Stomp, who is just dancing around these positions with aggression from phzy now into Stomp on short. Stomp for the first now. Knows ZTR is going to aggress into him. Stomp able to double down now.
It's just heartbreaking for the ninjas. nilo will be able to fall away and save that AWP, but as I say, there won't be much around it. I think we'll just see a bit of a half investment. 1-16 right now. Actually leading the charge on the server, got more kills than anybody else, including on the young ninjas camp.
Oh, no.
And there we go. Stomp and byali. Entries absolutely perfect, and there's the site once again.
Another attack and another flawless offensive. Rolf, the last left stats.
If young ninjas actually lose this map, they will not sleep well tonight. That is a really tough one.
As he goes through the smoke, he prepares the engagement. byali, seen from the flank, and now nilo. This is perfect position. Good for one stop. This is the 180, and nilo goes huge. 3 quick kills, leaves it into the 5-on-2. And for TOAO and Hyper, is Hyper for the first man. ZTR while he hides in gut. There's a swing, there's the kill. The flash is perfect from nilo there.
Be that far in the lead, completely throw it away and then just tip it over the top at the end. It's kind of crazy. phzy, my God, what a way to kick things off.
That is going to be soul crushing for Izako Boars. If they've mounted such a comeback, only finished the falter. Mono, he's killed nilo, but taken so much damage in the process. This is, I don't know what to think here, Josh. It's over.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
No, what a comeback!
They just didn't take enough round. Ooh.
Actually, all right. I'll the phone.
So as soon as he clears long, we'll pop that smoke down, tap in these numbers for phzy. Could even spam through the box. Instead, he's going to walk up, use this AWP up close like a shotgun. And oh no, the whiff shot. Mono has an opportunity, but he whiffs it. phzy follows up, and we go 16-13. The young ninjas, they crush the comeback of the Izako on their defense. That was the much stronger side that we saw from them. But as Rolf kicks things off with a nice headshot, stomp charge down. Look how much control they've taken. And as TOAO tries to respond with aggression of his own, ZTR's there to punish him for it.
With a massive aggression, bit of aggression there, Young Ninjas with a 2-man advantage. Make that, or make that 3 with nilo shutting down Hyper. Now with Rolf holding Heaven. It's an almost impossible circumstance for Izako. So they try to get onto this site. byali tries to find an opening, still unable to do so, though, means that Mono has to pivot from Heaven. Well, byali gets that opening, that might embigger Mono, but only into Rolf's cross set, only to his death, leaving it all onto byali in a 1 versus 4.
Well, cash injection, it gives them a really strong lead. Being on this T side and winning the pistol and the follow-ups anyway puts them in a great position as they're already on 3.
As they get ready for a follow-up. Let's get deployed. As byali gets ready to go through the smoke, actually. nilo on the other side of it. Caught out. There's the equalizer with Izako Boars. Get ready for follow-up. byali. The other side of this vent, finished off by ZTR. And as this engagement comes through, Young Ninjas just destroying Izako Boars' defense. So much so that Mono, he can't even risk going for it. He just sits back in ramp. He saves that weapon. Stomp, not even shifting from his angle either on red box. And just like that, Young Ninjas, they go 4-0 up.
A really strong round. Bear in mind, they just had the Galils there as well. They've had the opportunity to upgrade a bit of a half investment around these 2 saved weapons. They're not going to have enough cash to really fully...
We're not that far in yet, but being pummeled is a really bad sign.
With the man advantage, Izako Boars might be able to put their first on the board here. Rolf, oh, he's soft checking the angle. Does actually clear it. Mono playing anti-flash. No opportunity to fight there. And there we go. Leveled out. Man advantage now as Rolf finds another. Sapec incredibly low on health, but with byali being forced out of this site, the bomb will go down at the very least.
The Hyper. It's ready for a follow-up. As he holds...
No way back in for the Izako Boars. It's a very easy save call.
Instead, they go for timing, and for ZTR, this could be heavily to his detriment. He'll be the first casualty, as byali's good for 1, 2, swings out to make it 3, switches to the USP for 4, and for nilo, and a 1 versus 5. What on earth can he do next? He's good for 1 of his own, but byali, not quite for the ace. Instead, nilo with 2, means as he tries to run away, he's finished off by Stump, and for Izako Boars.
Boars really need to claw back a little more than this. Great nade, though, onto Rolf early.
Oh, Mono. Hasn't fought anyone yet, but he knows they're coming. Sapec peeks into him. Sapec, that's the perfect opening now. byali, what can he do from upper? He's seen in the process. Good for one. Doubles down again now. This time phzy from the flank. Needs to be careful of the player from mini as TOAO, well, spots down both members and just like get onto a site. But their issue is that when they go into a site, they just don't clear their angles. And someone lurking somewhere kills them. Stomp. This time going for a bit of a chat play with a flick like that onto roll. Deploys that nade to allow him to get away as they drop down. Missed shot, punished for it. And once again, Young Ninjas not clearing their angles. Hyper for two of his own. Puts it into a 3-on-2. And for Sapec, best case scenario for him would be going for this bomb plant. At least he can keep it covered. phzy up. Having jumped down to double door, caught out in rotation by TOAO, leaves it all onto Sapec in the 1 versus 3. The nade is perfect, and as he swung on, TOAO finishes the job. That'll be 3 for Izako Boars now, when that's going to be frustrating for Young Ninjas now. 3 rounds in a row that they've been killed by not checking an angle.
Very, very frustrating indeed. That's what happens.
He hasn't done so yet. byali once again chimes in for a first. This time phzy instantly there to trade, and now they're clearing angles. Now they're able to trade effectively into the 3-on-3. Now smoke goes down to mini. Stomp gets ready to go up through heaven. TOAO flashed off the angle, finished off by Nilo, who will actually go. I love this play from Nilo, straight back to A main rather than from outside. phzy onto Stomp means that Nilo doesn't have time to go A main, has to stick to mini. He has an M4 to work with though. There's that bomb established once. Flash gives him an opportunity to peek. Good for the first and survives the process. 1 HP to his name now. And as he knows that Stomp's pushing him, he just runs for it. He hightails it out of there. And he's able to survive the bomb ticking down all the way as well. Stomp, he's been outmaneuvered and Sapec on 1 HP. It's nice.
On to 8, and then things start to get scary. Hyper takes contact, deploys a bit of a janky smoke, but Stomp's there to respond. Great shot.
Perfect opening from Stomp, but with Hyper there as well. Sapec, instant trade, takes a lot of damage in the process, but it's still the equalizer nonetheless. I'll get ready for a follow-up. byali's kill onto Sapec should invigor him to continue aggression, but phzy, orbit handle peeks straight into him. phzy, quick kill onto byali, 3-on-3 now. phzy dropping down into cubby hole. Awaits this trade, and Stomp, he can't risk going through single. Instead, smoke down, TOAO spotted out by Nilo. phzy needs to be wary of the death from above. Instead, ZTL's good for the first. The P250 chimes in for the second.
Well, rifles all round for these guys. No utility left here for the Izako Boars, though. A couple of flashbangs, a single incendiary, but byali doesn't care. 3 kills found, raining terror from above. Drops down, which in hindsight might not have been the smartest move, but it doesn't matter. He's done his job, and he's done it to perfection. Nilo manages to slip down vents, and he'll be able to get onto this B site. But this C4 will actually go down. No one's anywhere near him, so at the end of the day, it's extra money in his pocket, and for his teammates too. I can't imagine he'll be able to clutch up this round, though, not with such low HP, but again, slipping through. How does he slide away from these situations?
Eventually he falls. Eventually he does.
Yeah.
Izako Boars will make it 4, but feels like every round Izako Boars have won is because byali's done something. If he doesn't, they're just screwed. Because of that, he just drops down instantly. A bit of a disciplined option for it, which I quite like. And there you go. Sapec onto byali. There's the opening. And now Izako Boars have got to try and make up for that. But phzy, that is so fast. And with Hyper trading onto Sapec, there's 2 players on the same site. Stomp peeks to outside. Missed shot. Going to be punished as he's swamped by these members. Another missed shot now as he tries to hide in lockers. Ruffle finishes the job. It's all onto mono. And there you go. byali dies and they can't do anything.
Yeah, they just completely crumble. Really strong round there from the Young Ninjas.
This is where things get pretty strong. Like, this is where Izako Boars start really faltering. And instead, he just backs off to the off angle. Now, Young Ninjas, they have a nasty habit of not checking any angle they fight. Well, they prove it there. 2 kills for Hyper. Sapec's trade is there, but to what avail? phzy aggressing into Stomp. Missed shot, punished, all onto Sapec now. As that bomb goes down, through the smoke, TOAO finishes the job.
This is just kind of bizarre, what we're seeing so far from the Izako Boars. 1 round, it's really strong. It's like this, a great retake, a really solid hold. Next round, there's just...
With aggression once again. Mono for the first. Tries to double up, does so before Rob trades, but Hyper and Stomp chime in. Looks like it'll be a 9-6. Nilo once again left in the clutch scenario. Well, it's good for Hyper. He's got very little HP.
Nice kill from Nilo.
Realised how open that bomb was there. Because of that, and bomb down, gets a reload from single. As it comes, timing is just proving to be so desperate for him. byali kills him anyway, and for Izako Boars, that'll be the 6.
Oh, big clutch up there for the Izako Boars. I mean, Nilo...
Then has to get ready to lead this charge, and as they do so, it's a burst onto the A site. byali for the first trade by Rolf, and, well, it's only a single trade before Mono is able to chime in. Sapec falling in heaven as well at the expense of byali, leaves us into a 4-on-2. And now it looks like we may have a bit of a game developing on our hands. Izako Boars, while they seriously struggled without byali, were able to find their rhythm in the last couple, and now that they've found a very dominant pistol round, looks like they need to be a bit careful. byali, that's the first one.
3 kills. He'll have a fair bit to work with in the next, especially if he finds this 4th, hunting down for Nilo. And there we go, ready for him. Nilo's actually just saving here. Doesn't want to give him the pledge, but finds the headshot right at the end regardless. So byali, no. And Nilo, having fallen all the way back to control, has to win this fight, and he doesn't. byali's too quick.
Quick kill there as Nilo falls. ZTR, he's able to chime in, a back and forth, a to and fro. Leaves us into a 3-on-3. Sapec gets ready to exit this vent. byali's one to watch out for. Caught off by Sapec. Leaves us into a 3-on-2. And as he gets ready to engage TOAO, hasn't quite done so yet. Instead, phzy now left alone in the 1 versus 2 for a moment. Because of that, phzy, he may just have to pick up that AWP and hightail it out of there. Never mind, Mono kills him anyway for Izako Boars. I mean... No. I guess the only person who's relatively close to him would be, I guess, phzy, ZTR, and Nilo, as they sit on 14. But yeah, still 10 kills shy.
Away. Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually astronomically far away. byali is just a one-man armying this. Nilo onto one, phzy onto another, but byali's trade, the aforementioned player, is able to keep it equal. Instead, those advantages that were gained by Young Ninjas become just mitigations of the damage. byali, having already seen this window broken, can now aggress into Nilo. Another clean kill for him, and Josh, this man's a monster.
He really is, yeah. Izako Boars, they'll get the bomb down.
Young Ninjas, at least they cling to the M4. I mean, it gives them something to work with. And with this util, going to spur them on to head to this B site. And as they do so, Young Ninjas, it's Nilo to open out with a kill onto Hyper. As phzy chimes in again. He goes into a 5-on-2. ZTR to Mono, Stomp onto Sapec, and...
Is it like grass fertilizer?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe grass fertilizer's the way forward, but... So, there's an opening.
Discipline off of it. TOAO, that early prods worked out beautifully for him. They certainly don't want to be giving it up. But phzy getting visible. They need to keep an eye on it. We've seen several rounds throughout this series so far, but they have timed themselves out a little bit. This time, that's not the case. A huge headshot from Hyper on that entry gives them safe passage down the vents, and as they spam away onto phzy, he's down to 3 points of health. Absolutely massive damage. They know that one's tucked in this corner. It's Nilo, but they're not going to fight him.
My worry, though, is that kill, it's not a advantage, it's an equalizer. Because of that, Mono is the one called into action. Luckily, Mono can deliver. So TR, though, he chimes in, putting it into the 2-on-2 now. And at this stage, byali needs to be called to action. But byali, he's actually in a rotation to ramp. That bomb tap means Hyper finishes off ZTR all on phzy. He too falls for Hyper. If there ever was a time for the coach to come in, Josh.
Running for his life here.
Nilo, he just hightails it out of there. But TOAO even spots out Nilo eventually. There's the kill anyway. And as it goes into a 5-on-4, now things are looking really, really dicey for the Young Ninjas with Izako Boars on the rotation. Rolf drops down to double with Mono chiming in. Sapec taken out.
Down secret. You kind of tease the idea of maybe going for a bit of a retake, but phzy on that AWP is already
which actually something he'll be pretty happy with. Stomp is going to have a try. Well, Stomp is going to try and get a piece of the action though from Ramsey. Peeks in. phzy, he falls, and once again it just looks so dicey with another man falling. TOAO in a bit of an off angle and outside will get ready to flank into heaven. And the second he does so, Izako Boars will just kickstart this attack onto A. With Rolf good for one. TOAO instant to trade. It's a back and forth, but here's the thing: it only has to be an even back and forth for Izako Boars to be in the lead here. The molly, it forces ZTR away from heaven, buying even more space. Milo, nice opening. Noah Stomp falls into a 2-on-2 now, and as Nilo gets ready to go exit from this hut, Nilo appears to be the man who is kind of called upon, the same way byali is. With Hyper good for the first ZTR trades, he knows where TOAO is. Well, that nade will try and force him back. That bomb, it's tapped by ZTR, it's stuck by ZTR, and TOAO doesn't peek in. Instead, the bomb's just straight defused. Young Ninjas, hasn't been able to fight them yet, though, and instead, he sees the first man drop. He gives his position away as he does so, actually, and ZTR's there to execute TOAO as he comes out the vents. The molly doesn't even force Sapec out of position. Instead, it forces him to aggress onto byali as he secures that kill. Young Ninjas look like they're going to be able to make it 12.
Well, they've only got a one-man advantage, but I think the major issue right now is there's only 20 seconds on this clock. They need to burst out onto this A site, and they need to do so quickly. Sapec good for one, but as the trades come through, they spot out the man in heaven. Don't think they realize that there's two there. High press to tap this bomb, but he really hasn't got time to be going for these fakes. Mono with 2 big kills brings it into the 1-versus-1 situation. He hasn't got time to get this plant in, though, and ZTR teasing him in the ramp. He even lets off on...
Being fought for. No kill yet, though. There for Sapec. Oh, through the fading smoke, TOAO. It's a clean kill to his skull. As that bullet exits him. Let's see if they can actually fight for the controlled unlockers. And my word for Izako Boars is byali. He's kind of quietened down a little bit. He's only on 29 kills. Only on 29 kills. He's been on 29 kills for a while. And as TOAO tries to take the mantle of the player who's popping off a bit, byali going into heaven is going to try and hard clear the safe site. So he does so. He's got Hyper to support him with the first kill. Should be able to piece together where the second is. He hasn't quite cleared hut yet. Timing favours him there. He gets his 30th with that. And for Nilo, in a 1v4, he just has to hold on to that 8.
You might even see, a couple of MP9s, maybe even a Desert Eagle on one of these players. At that really, really rough economy.
But it's still a buy. And for Izako Boars, once again, just running down the clock a little bit. Hyper just walks to his death there. Bit unangled is going to be the next man to worry about. Sees him coming, missed shot, backs off into CT. As he attempts to do so, they shut him down. There's the trade. 4-on-4 now. With Izako Boars back to the drawing board, figuring out where to attack next. For Mono, his engagement with Nilo will be a pretty clean one, and with that kill, Ninja's got a man down. Traded by ZTR, keeps it even. In a 3-on-3, Rolf now shows himself from the flank as Izako Boars actually stagnate a fair bit here.
Yeah, they really do. Not what you want to be seeing at this kind of stage, but as the C4 goes down, whilst there is a man advantage for the young ninjas, they have actually found themselves some weapons to work with too. Sapec on a slow rotation, Rolf coming in from the vents, not your usual sniper. As the molly goes in onto ZTR though, I'm not sure if they'll be expecting him to be on the front side of it, and there we go, they don't at all. ZTR pounces, TOAO taken out, and for byali, he's kind of in an impossible situation here. Whilst he's the man I'd want in a 1v3, a 1v3 maybe still a bit ambitious, and the young ninjas, they somehow pull it off and stay alive.
It's dicey, isn't it, the young ninjas, where they try to figure out what to do next, and while they try to off the angle, Sapec hides. He actually drops down to take a fight. He's only good for one before traded out by Stomp. Now with Hyper and Mono chiming in, their flanks come in and leaving just Rolf and phzy respectively in this 2-on-4. This is where things go from bad to worse for this side. It's not a pretty sight to be in at all. As they get ready for this engagement. What can phzy do next? And peeks into byali. Scene in the process. Damage done. Finished off by byali.